Are you one who struggles? Do you know someone who struggles to understand that Jesus' righteousness is our righteousness? Do you know people who feel like they have to earn their salvation? Do you know people who feel like every time they mess up, they have to start again? Do you know people who feel like they have to clean up before they come to God? Do you know people who have difficulty accepting forgiveness? Have you ever met anybody in your life, one person, who exemplified 1 Corinthians 13, patient, kind, love does not envy, love does not boast, doesn't keep record of wrongdoing, it protects? Have you ever found that in one person? Have you ever been that to one person? I think the only person that ever walked this earth who possessed all of the qualities of 1 Corinthians 13 was Jesus Christ himself. And because he was able to exemplify love in that perfect way, he became the perfect sacrifice on the cross for our sin. For when we don't do it, he became the sacrifice for that. And he said, if we believe that he died on the cross and that he rose again, if we confess that with our mouth and we believe it in our heart, that his righteousness covers us. And we don't have to live a perfect life because he did. So you're good, right? You don't have to be perfect. But what is 1 Corinthians 13? It's God. God is love. 1 Corinthians 13 is love. What did God say? What does the word tell us? So many times someone asked, how do we inherit the kingdom of God? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. How do we live kingdom now? How do we inherit the kingdom of God? How do we live a kingdom-minded life now? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. How do we get to experience the fullness of all God has offered us in his word in addition to our salvation? How do we get to live that life that we hear about? Kingdom now. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. How do you love him with all your heart? 1 Corinthians 13. You love him that way. The Bible tells us that no one has ever seen God and that they would know him by our demonstration of him. He says, be love. He says, love your neighbor. He says, take care of the poor. He talks about taking care of provisions, but he says, love them. What is the fullness of love? Have you ever known anyone in your life, just one person, who has shown you unconditional love, never reminded you of your past, your account of wrong? They have never refused forgiveness to you when you asked for it. They haven't held grudges. Has anyone ever loved you perfect like that? Me either. Have you ever loved anyone perfect like that? Me either. I think the only perfect person was Jesus Christ himself, and he was sent because God knew that he would be faithful to finish the work when we couldn't. God says to love like Jesus. It's hard to believe in that security when you've never seen it in a person. And I think so many times we're missing the opportunity with people when we represent ourselves in the love of Jesus. We sometimes miss the opportunity to go all the way with them and take it back to Calvary. We're working through the Proverbs 31 this month. So I talk a lot about being a wife and a daughter. And as I'm working through it, of course, I'm seeing things in all my relationships. But one thing that I've learned over the past couple years is that until we understand and can embrace and believe in the purest form of love, which is the love of God, he is love. He is Corinthians 13. Jesus is 1 Corinthians 13. That is what love looks like. and in action, right? You can see every one of those things in the life of Jesus unto the cross and resurrection. Until we know that, then we're only sharing with people. We can only share with people the depth of love that we know. If you are able to trust God completely in His love and understand His love, and see what happens is you understand His love. You just want to share the gift with people. It is a gift. You just want to share. There was a moment for me where faith moved into a walk with faith and obedience. There was not a moment where I had to change everything about my life. There was not a magic moment when everything was different. There was a moment where I made a decision. I wanted to be like Jesus. I wanted to follow Jesus. And I knew He was good, and I knew He could heal me. I knew He could make things better. The more I spent time with Him, the more I became like Him. The missing piece in my walk with the Lord was obedience.
Won't you be mine? Won't you please?